Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to biology class. This is me, Miss Sophia Yaqub from APS Boys Child Code. It's Friday, 22nd May 2020 and it's week 8. We are studying chapter number 3, biodiversity. Let's pop into the classroom to see what we are going to study. Let's have a recap. So how will you define classification? Yes, the answer is it is the method to divide organisms into groups and subgroups. Good. And how many taxa mean the group of classifications are there? Yes, the answer is there are 7 taxa. Can you name them? The first taxa is kingdom, then phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Good. You guys revised the lesson properly. Now, don't you get any question in your mind like who did classify the organism for the first? The answer is it was not done just by one scientist. Many scientists contributed in the classification of organisms. Or a question like who was the first scientist to tell about the classification? So, let's start a topic in which you will get all the answers of these questions. So our topic is history of classification. And our objectives are students will be able to describe the contribution of scientists in classification. It all started with Aristotle in 384 BC when he grouped all the organisms into two groups, that are the plants and animals. And in 700, Abu Usman Umar al-Jahiz, he wrote about 350 species of animal, mostly about ants. Then, in 1172, Ibn Rushd translated a book, De Anima, written by Aristotle in Arabic, and in 16th century, Andrea Casalpino divided plants into 15 groups and called them genera. Then, in late 16th century, John Ray published his important work on classification of plants. And in 17th century, Augustus Ruinus introduced the taxon of order of taxonomic hierarchy. Then in early 18th century, Tony Ford introduced the taxa, class and species of the taxonomic hierarchy. And then in late 18th century, Carolus Linnaeus grouped species according to the physical characteristic and introduced binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature means it is a method of giving scientific name to the organism. We will study about it later on. Hopefully you understood today's topic and you understood how scientists contributed in the history of classification. So your assignment question is draw a timeline showing the history of classification. It will be easy for you to draw the timeline after watching the video. So watch it carefully. Good luck.